What is good, everybody? We're going to run through the zero trades that I took today. Look at your price action. I thought this was absolutely buns today, and I'm happy that I sat out both today and yesterday. I did not like any of the setups that presented themselves these past 2 days. Beginning of the week was super fat, took two really nice dubs, and then one little small L on Wednesday. So coming into the week with that context, I can literally just sit out and have crazy high standards and be like, yeah, bro, this shit does not impress me. Right? So what am I seeing coming into today? First thing to note, right? And a lot of you guys know this, but you simply just don't care. Like, actually, bro, use your brain and apply what you know, bro. A lot of you guys have heard professional traders say this shit, but you come into the day and you don't say it yourself. Like, why not, right? Listen, we had a crazy huge move yesterday, and the overnight session has done nothing. We're probably going to continue to do nothing, right? Big move, then we consolidate, right? Market goes accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? So we're now in an accumulation phase. We need to generate more liquidity before we manipulate, and then we can go, right? We need to see stuff like that before we're going to get clean moves, and we know that. But for some reason, we still expect the market to run and be good price action today. Like, no, right? Coming into open, we have this big move here, and now we kind of have context to maybe go to this low in the coming days. But keep in mind, it's Friday, right? So what that's telling me is, okay, we might want to rebalance, right? Why is that? Because we might want to place in a little bit of a nice weekly wick right here, because we've had a down week. We definitely might want to do open high, low close, right? So on the 4 hour, I'm looking for what would we potentially bounce off of, and even if there's nothing to bounce off of, what could we look to rebalance to, right? There's three main points that I'm looking for rebalance to, right? I'm looking to rebalance to maybe London high, because we have a seek and destroy model, right? So Asia, London, now we have New York. Now we can take a seek and destroy, right? We can either go to this high, then maybe continue a bit lower, or go to the other side of the range. We can also go to this 1 hour high, right? Why this 1 hour high? Because right here we have an order block and a fair value gap nestled right here, and it's somewhere around OT equilibrium of this range. Could potentially be what it is. I'm not saying it is, right? Just waiting to react. And the final one, which is honestly my favorite, was to look for this 4 hour fair value gap, right? Why am I choosing this 4 hour right here? For two reasons. Number one, it's the clean only 4 hour in the leg, right? And then number two, if we go down to a lower time frame, looking at the microstructure here, watch where the market turns from imbalance price action to generated liquidity. If the market's going to run all the generated liquidity, it's going to go to the top of that and then rebalance to the imbalance and then continue lower, right? That's how the market works. So that point is where I'm potentially looking to target, right? So now coming into today, what happens? We see right here in the pre-market session, we have a small little SMT at this low, and price gets bought straight up right here to Asia, right? Or to London and Asia. So if we look on both of our indexes, actually we didn't have a singular strong model. What was I yapping about? Maybe it was on a bigger time frame, right? But yeah, so right here we see we come up and we take Asia high. Now, two things are going to play out here, right? Checking out this structure, tell me, what do you see happening here, right? This can either play at this point, right? We see SMT and then run higher. This can either play for a rebalance and then a run all the way higher, or this can just be simply manipulation and then distribution lower. So we're trying to figure out which one of the two this is, right? So now when we open the market around 9:30, right here, I'm looking for the market to take one side and then flip, right? So I'm trying to figure out, what is it? If we took highs, then went lower, that could be a nice short. If we take lows and then give me a confident run higher, that might not be too bad with an SMT, right? So what does the market do? It plays around, does nothing, ends up taking lows, then it explodes within one or two candles, and then it goes ahead and takes the high and does nothing for the rest of the day. That's what the market does. How do I react to that, right? I see us taking these lows, and I'm saying, this is kind of not the best long, right? Why is that? Because every single time frame, right? Once you've taken this low, every single time frame says bearish. Every single time frame says bearish. So now, for me to take a long, I would have to trade the 1 minute long against every other single time frame saying bearish. That's not how we trade. That's not how we get longevity and high probability trades. And if you would have taken that, you most likely would have got break even, or you really don't get the highest R. Maybe 2.5 max, right? That's not what I'm looking to catch and put a whole bunch of low conviction action on the line for, just to catch 2.5 R. Like, that's not how we're trading, right? So we see that initial trade kind of bang out. If you took it, I don't think it's too bad. I think the volume here was kind of evident, but even then, I just really don't like to put capital behind that type of trade. And yeah, so we see market ends up rebalancing. We come back, we take Asia highs, I believe, right here. Yeah, and then from there, we play around, run higher, and at this point, I'm looking to see if we want to deliver a short model, right? Because Once we're around here, I want to see if ES wants to tap this 1 hour for value gap right here and then deliver us lower from here. So what we end up seeing is a tap of this right at around 10:38, and then we see a big candle to the downside. This is a potential short, right? There's no problem in this. I probably would have either probably market it, ordered it something like this, trading this, and then looking to at least see, one of these lows down here, and then maybe even full take profit or leaving the rest. But at this point, I don't think this trade is bad at all. And what ends up happening is an SMT put in here. So here you have to say either I'm break even or I'm taking it all off. Anything other than taking like a good 50% off, it's probably a bad decision here because of how this ended up playing out. But I don't think that this trade was all too bad to look for this. I do think that it's just an inefficient day and we get the draw wrong when we trade against this kind of manipulation and then a run, you know what I'm saying? But overall, there really wasn't a lot here. This 1050 long doesn't look too bad. The one issue that I don't like with this 1050 long, right, as we're seeing, we're somewhat bullish. You can make a case for either direction, really, I think here. But what we end up seeing is this SMT gets put in right here, and then we start to give a really fat, nice candle higher, and then maybe you get some type of tap here around 1050. Then you trade this higher to the highs. I think this was an okay trade. I don't like it though because of how inefficient it was. You would have had to held this for like well over, I think, probably an hour. Like, let's see. This was 49 minutes, 50 minutes. A 50-minute long trade is not what I want to be taking. I don't want to be trading in a position past like 11:20, 11:25. So this is not my type of position. I most likely would have been break even around this point and then just gotten cleanly stopped out, right? But at the end of the day, bro, no problem if you took this. It's okay. I don't really love it the most, but it's okay. You have to go break even quickly here, though. I think once you take this high, have to go break even, because another thing is like in these conditions, right? You have to, with experience in trading, if you literally trade for 6 months, bro, you know when it's not a good time to trade. You know, but you still take trades. So if you were going to take a trade, because even though the conditions are bad, maybe the setup just looks so good and you really do want to put capital behind it confidently, trade a lower size and go break even fast. That is your precaution for trading worse market conditions, because you are trying to catch a volatility. You're trying to catch a volatility spike. If you get blessed with that volatility spike, you stay in the position and you make bread. If you get blessed with, or if you get caught with low volatility and bad action, get out of the position, because in a period of consolidation, even if you're taking a fat, like maybe this is your model right here to get entered around here, order block, whatever, and you catch this, good, right? If this gets bought up in a candle or two, good, go break even, let it go. You caught the market. However, once we start playing around like this, going up and down and up and down, that starts to represent that the market is much less strong than you thought, right? It's much more weak. And because of that, there's no point in you being in a high conviction trade, right? Your trade is very low probability at that point. It's like you just holding it and praying that it works out. That's not the type of stuff that we are trying to do as traders, and it's not how we want to be trading. So that video, I think today is pretty much it. We ended up pulling higher to this 4 hour that we talked about, and then I think we placed into the SMT and then sold off. But I do not be trading this PM stuff. If you got a sell off here, I mean, plays, it's pretty nice. It's just not my type of opportunity. But at the end of the day, it was pretty sweet, and I think that's pretty much it. Today was a good day to sit back, work on discipline, and tape read price action, and just work and praise the ability of doing nothing, bro. Like literally sitting here and not doing anything, just having no action, complete inaction. That is what we need to start praising and making that seem that like that's a thing that good traders do, because that's the truth, right? Good traders sit down and they don't trade because they know the market is going to bite them if they trade. They know that they are not above the market. Every good trader must submit to the market. It's like, bro, even professional fighters, even professional like sports players, they all submit to what they know is right to do in the sport. They don't just think that they're an exception to the sport. They all say, hey, the greats did this, I'm doing this, or hey, my coach says this workout is good pre-game, all that kind of stuff, right? They all know what's right. None of them are above it. Simply do it because you know that it's right. So I feel let you boys go. Hope you guys learn a little bit of something. See the way that I'm checking out the charts, and I hope I could inspire a little bit of development and continuously grow you as a trader. So I'm going to let you boys go, and peace out.